and welcome to the Scoop with Bolanle, where news meets humanity. Now, today is forever going to be a somber day. As we know, on Tuesday, January 18th, Ibadan had a devastating bomb blast. Since then, the casualty numbers have continued to rise, and we've seen the devastation in all its full, glory. It's caused havoc, and it's wreaked a lot of damage on the lives of citizens who are in Ibadan in Oyo State. I think the question that we beg to ask is, how did this happen? Why were there explosives in a residential area in a house? Guys, you have to understand that you can't just get dynamite anyhow in Nigeria. You can't just have explosives easily accessible, right? This is something that is imported into the country, and it has to go through customs, and it has to get registered. Or did it not get registered? So the question I think on everyone's minds is, how did it happen? The second question I have is, who owns the house? Who owns the illegal mine? Was it an illegal mine, or is that what's being said? In the next few days, I'd like some answers, and I'd also like to hear from Oyo State government. I'd also like to hear from the federal government as well. We have to remember that lives were lost here. One of the devastating stories that we heard come out of Ibadan is a young man who is the only child of his elderly mother, and he'd recently come back from the UK, and unfortunately he was one of the people that lost his life. Absolutely heart-wrenching. And of course, to me though, whether you're coming from the UK, whether you're born and bred in Ibadan, it doesn't matter. The point is, a life was lost. But I do find it interesting how in some ways, sometimes in Nigeria, it feels like we value certain lives over another because the person is from abroad versus the person being here. I understand the premise of the fact that here is someone who came to visit and oh my gosh, they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. But every single person that lost their lives in that blast shouldn't have. So let's not quantify whose life is more valuable based on the fact that one is from abroad and one is from Ibadan. Let's not do that. What we need to do is we need to hold our government accountable. And we need to ask the Nigerian government to explain to us, why did this happen? Explosives in a residential area, it shouldn't happen. There's more to this story, and we're going to be keeping covered to see how it evolves. All right, moving on to something a lot more lighthearted. After the infamous, earlier this year, the Amoys, all that fake sauce saga, we've stumbled upon another one. Rubber plantain chips. A viral post from an eagle-eyed social media user has exposed a plantain chips vendor who is allegedly spicing up the recipe with a not so appetizing ingredient, polythene, also known as rubber. Guys, they're making plantain chips with rubber. Like, instead of a dash of salt, it's a dash of plastic. The Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, LASCOPA, has sounded the alarm, cautioning residents and people like me who love to eat plantain chips that we should be careful before we eat plantain. Now, plantain lovers, I get it. Because in our lives, what is our purpose if it's not to defend plantain? What is it? But now, guys, we need to be careful. We need to have some restraint, because the honest truth about it is, for some reason, I don't know why. Why can't we just do things the right way? Why must you add plastic to plantain? Why? And this is jeopardizing the health and the well-being of us, people like me, who absolutely loves plantain chips. It is absolutely uncalled for. So please, 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 when you're eating your plantain, make sure that you're watching. Make sure if you taste anything and it's a bit plasticky, it has a weird taste, it's a wrap. LASCOPA has implored citizens that they should make sure that they blow the whistle, and they should let people know that if you see any plantain that is not correct, scratch it. But my real question I have here is, why is it that sometimes in Nigeria, when we're doing things, we're just always doing things anyhow? You know, when you're thinking about making food, if you did this to someone, would you want to eat someone else's product and there's something in it that is not healthy? You know, I sometimes wonder what it is about Nigerians that we don't think about the well-being of others, because at the end of the day, you're just being a bad neighbor. There's no reason why you should be adding plastic to plantain. It makes no sense. Unless you're trying to say you're trying to cut costs. But cut costs at the cost of what? Cutting costs at the cost of other people's lives. So are we saying now that I cannot eat my beloved plantain? No. I need to see NAFDAC on these people's butts. I need to see regulations happening. Like all these Nigerian agencies, you guys need to step up and do your work. It's enough. Because at the end of the day, as a citizen, how am I going to be opening each bag of plantain chips and say, is it plastic? Is it not? Is it plantain? I'm trying to survive every day. I beg. So please, guys, when you're eating your plantain chips, be careful. Welcome to another episode of Nigeria's Drama of the Week. On Tuesday, 2:40 p.m., a squad of policemen decided to make a grand entrance onto a live TV program. Unsuspecting guest star Ifeanyi Okali found himself in the spotlight as policemen stormed the set. The director of the radio and TV station in Umuahia, the capital of Abia, spilled the tea, revealing that the management was more than a little concerned about the unexpected police invasion. Yep, our dear police officers in uniform decided that a live TV program was the perfect venue for an impromptu arrest, maybe a polite invitation to the police station, maybe a quick questionnaire, maybe keeping things a little bit civilized. But for some reason, in this real life reality TV show called Nigeria, protocol took a break. The police barged in, interrupting the interview and leaving the host speechless. Now the question is why? Because that's the $1 million question we all want to know. Why did it happen? Well, the police officers were very tight-lipped about the alleged offense. But apparently, the reason why is there's a family feud between Ifeanyi Okali and his estranged brother. So no, guys, I'm not a lawyer. But somebody tells me that live TV is not a place. It's not a place where you're going to be arresting people. Is the person fleeing the country? What is the problem? And I can't even but help but wonder, couldn't they have done it during a commercial break? What was the reason to embarrass the guy on live television? Are you arresting him? If he's trying to answer a query, shouldn't he be invited to police station? No. It's not a vibe at all. Like, sometimes I just think about the Nigerian police and it just feels as if they just don't have protocol or procedures or etiquette or cues on how to handle, sensitive situations. Guys, let me just tell you, imagine I'm shooting this, police officer comes to come and arrest me. Hey! What will I say? What will I explain? What will I do? I will resist arrest now. Because I will say, what are you doing? Nah, Nigeria is a movie. Your favorite filmmaker drops a movie. You are excited. You want to watch this film. You're anticipating it. And this thing I'm very passionate about, guys. Instead of hitting the cinema or streaming it on a legit platform, you've chosen the path of watching a movie illegally on Telegram, whether it's a link that was sent to you. Guys, it's wrong. It's wrong. You need to wake up and smell the coffee, because very soon they're going to start arresting you guys who keep doing this thing. Toyin Abraham recently graced a press conference in Lagos with her presence and announced that she recently wound up in the hospital because of a full-blown panic attack triggered by her movie that was recently released, Malaika, being pirated and making rounds unauthorized on Telegram and other shady platforms.
I was saying the link to my manager when the car started crying. If you look at me, you will know that I'm actually not okay. I had to come from the hospital. I've been having panic attack, It's not easy.
Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, it's just a movie link now. Maybe someone sent it to me. Oh, whatever. I'm doing them a favor by watching it. No, you are not. Newsflash for every one of you that's in that group. That is a crime. Piracy is a crime. It is punishable by law, and you can end up in jail, not for 4 months, not for 8 months, not for a year, but for 2. Piracy is not just stealing intellectual property. It's stealing someone's livelihood. You're stealing their sweat, you're stealing their tears, and you're triggering panic attacks. And let me explain this to you. It goes down to books as well. I remember in 2010, I promised myself and I told myself that I was never going to watch anything illegal. I was not going to read anything illegal. If someone sent me a PDF of a book, I'm not reading it. Let me tell you why. Because when one day I produce something, I don't want people to do that to me. And not to say that people won't, but I'm just saying that I truly believe in karma. And I truly believe that if I want people to respect my work in the future, I shouldn't do that to other people's work. So the next time you're tempted to download a movie from the dark corners of the web, or someone sends you a link, or your friend says, babe, I have it on my phone. No, I watch this movie. Read this book. Don't worry. I have the PDF. No, just want to let you know, it's not just a click. It's a crime under Section 36 of the Copyright Act. Number 2, support your filmmakers. Guys, pay for your entertainment. Like, let's stop being cheap. I know in Nigeria we have this habit because a lot of those books that we see in traffic, do you guys know that those books are not actually from the actual publishers? They were published here in one corner in Lagos, printed, and they look legit, but they're not. So please, if you know that you want someone to support your own hard work, do the same for others. Be your brother's keeper. We have to become better neighbors in Nigeria. Like, this thing is not funny. How can you say that you sweated for a movie, you did your work, toil, you invested, and people are watching your film, you're not getting any remuneration from it? Why? Why should you watch a film for free? Where is it done? They're entertaining you. No. Please, I beg. Enough of it. Enough of the pirating. All right, guys, that is it for today. This is The Scoop, of course, with me, Bolanle. I want to hear from you. Please go ahead and send in your comments and also any questions you have or any gist that you have that you'd like me to discuss on the email address that's scrolling across the screen. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.